Hello, today is Wednesday, December 17th, 2025, and I just came on here because I woke up this morning and something was kind of going through my mind, and it was in regards to a quote that I once heard, I think Maya Angelou and Oprah discussing, and it's when people tell you, I know there's a thing that talks about when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. But this one was specifically when people tell you who they are, believe them the first time, I think. Anyway, I'll try to find the video and add it to the end of this video. But I just want to say that there was a person that I was really hanging with, thick as thieves, and at some point in time, or actually, let me just say that in the beginning of our hanging out and being together, this person was just wonderful to be around. It seemed like they were really on their P's and Q's and their best behavior. I don't know what it was, but it was just one of those things where it was like, wow, this person is really cool to be around. And it just seemed like the more time that we spent together, they started changing. And I know that does happen sometimes, like in relationships. Let me take these glasses off. In relationships, when people get comfortable, they start to show a different side of themselves. And so anyway, in this conversation that Oprah and Maya Angelou were having, they're talking about when people tell you who they are, to believe them. And so when I was hanging out with this person, I kept saying, wow, you're so wonderful to be around, and you're so kind, and you're so giving, and it's so refreshing. And they kept saying, well, you should see how I treat so-and-so, or my so-and-so wouldn't say that, or my friends wouldn't, or not necessarily my friends, but anyway, they kept negating what I was saying about them, and this projection that I had of them being such a kind and giving person. And so the more and more time that I spent with them, and the more and more we were together, I guess they got comfortable and they started talking to me and doing things that I was like, oh, now I'm starting to see what you were trying to warn me about as it relates to you. And so I quickly recognized that this is not the person who I thought they were, and that they did get comfortable and kind of got me fucked up. Like, you can just talk to me any old kind of way and discard me and treat me any old kind of way. So I guess they showed me who they really are, and they were trying to tell me I just was like in a fantasy and thinking that I was experiencing something else. So anyway, the moral to the story is that, if you meet me and you treat me a certain kind of way, and we're in the honeymoon period, and everything is great, and we're loving each other, and we're thick as thieves hanging out with each other, don't get me fucked up though, because I will flip that script in a heartbeat and be like, oh, no, you don't think that Nicole is going to walk away? Nicole will walk away. So anyway, I will try to find that video where Maya Angelou and Oprah are talking about this, because, I expect to be treated a certain way. I expect to be talked to a certain way. I expect to be respected. And it doesn't matter how much you do for me, how much we do for each other, how much we love each other. If you start treating me a certain way, thinking that you could, treat me a certain kind of way or talk to me a certain kind of way just because you get comfortable, get uncomfortable. Anyway, have a beautiful day. And let me just add that if you meet me and you like me and you want to rock with me, and you think you have to be something you're not, or you're on your best behavior, stay on your best behavior or, or miss me with the bullshit. I want you to be yourself and I want you to be your authentic self. But if you start off the relationship and you're giving and kind and you talk to me respectfully and you are responsive to me and all the wonderful things, just remember who you were in the beginning and keep that shit up. Because otherwise, I am not interested in being treated and discarded. And like I said, I don't care how much you do for me, or how much we do for each other, how much time we're spending and all the things. I will walk away. Okay, and then this line is so good that I have to keep it in here. It's not for me, but it says, the beginning version of you is evidence, and I don't have my glasses on, but it says, the beginning version of you is evidence you know how to act. So don't act brand new later like respect is optional. Isn't that the shit? That's exactly what I'm talking about. The beginning version of you is proof that you, motherfucker, know how to act. So don't even try me, basically pretending like you don't know how to act.
When people show you who they are, believe them.
Yes, absolutely. A person says to you, I'm selfish, or I'm mean, or I am unkind,
Or I'm crazy.
or believe them. They know themselves much better than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But no, more often than not, those of us who don't trust life say, don't say a thing like that. You're not really crazy. You're not really unkind. You're not really mean. And as soon as you say that, the person, pow,
That you know.
and shows you, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I was unkind. So now why are you angry?
This is a harsh truth nobody want to hear. There will always be people that will pretend to be something just to get something they want from you. And listen, sometimes gonna get you, and they gonna get you, and you're gonna be like, damn, you got me. And you know what? It's gonna suck, but you're gonna be like, man, you got me, I'm not gonna with you no more.
Yeah.
The problem is when people show us who they truly are and they stop pretending, we start staying and trying to change them into a person they wasn't in the first place. Y'all be like, hey man, put that mask back on. I liked you better that way. You know that man is not who he presented, but you want that old thing back so much you're gonna try to get it. So here's the thing. Yes, people gonna waste your time and it sucks, but don't waste your own time by not believing them when they tell you I'm wasting your time.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, so this little reflection is just too good for me not to just read it. So I'm going to read it verbatim. It says, you're naming a specific kind of heartbreak, the bait and switch heartbreak. Not the obvious villain stuff, but the slow, confusing slide where somebody starts out attentive, respectful, consistent, and then once they feel you're attached, they get loose with your dignity, less responsive, more entitled, more careless, more you'll be here anyway. And what you're really doing in your vlog, which is what I'm going to be putting together here, is declaring a new rule of reality for yourself. And it's really, for me, not a new rule. It's just that maybe everybody doesn't know. But if you look at my website, and which is www.NicoleD4.com, you will see that I have been with, interacted with, had all kinds of quote unquote friends and acquaintances throughout life, just all kinds of situations. And it should be proof that I will walk away from anything. But anyway, so it says, and what you're really doing in the vlog is declaring a new rule of reality for yourself. Again, not a new rule. When I tell you something, you should believe me too. So it says, my nervous system is not a storage unit for someone's unhealed behavior. Access to me is conditional, not automatic. The beginning version of you is evidence you know how to act. So don't act brand new later like respect is optional. The Maya Angelou quote hits a nerve because it exposes the exact moment people get trapped. It's not the moment the person turns mean. It's the moment the person tells you in plain language or sideways language, I'm not built for consistency. I get ugly when I'm uncomfortable. I mistreat people. I get selfish. And the listener, aka me, out of hope or empathy or denial says, no, not you. So that's the spell. The spell is the rescuing. The spell is the fantasy. The spell is you protecting their image more than your own experience. So let me just keep going here and turn the page. Moving on. Okay, and so it says, because you clocked something very specific that a lot of people miss, they were warning you while still benefiting from your idealization of them. When you were praising them, they kept trying to correct you. That correction can be honest, or it can be a soft launch for future mistreatment. Either way, your takeaway is solid. If someone is telling you they're unsafe, believe them. Not because they're evil, but because they're giving you data. Then the second clip, which I'm going to add 2 clips to this video that I'm recording if I can fit it in. It says, even if somebody was pretending, even if they wore the mask to get access, the moment the mask clips, that is the truth you live with, not the highlight reel, not the origin story, not the fantasy, not who they were when they were trying. And I want to point out what's powerful about your wording, because it's not just I'll walk away. It's the clean boundary logic behind it. Be yourself, be authentic, but if you start with respect and responsiveness, keep it up. Don't discard me and expect me to tolerate it because we have history. Anyway, it goes on, but it says you're not saying stay perfect. You're saying stay respectful, stay consistent. And there's a big difference between that and asking a person to be perfect. It says also there's a quiet spiritual truth threaded through what you said without you even preaching it. Love without reverence isn't love you want. Familiarity that erodes care is not intimacy, it's entitlement. And it says, and the part where you said get uncomfortable is a whole word. That's you refusing the cultural script that says closeness gives people permission to get sloppy. You're basically saying comfort does not outrank character. It's a lot of big words, but yeah, okay. And then one more thing, it says, this isn't only about spotting bad people, it's about honoring your own perception earlier. Because in your story, you didn't miss the shift. You noticed it, you interpreted it correctly, and you acted. That's the upgrade. So the real win here is not I won't get got. Sometimes people will still get a lick in, and this, as like the second clip says, the win is you're not going to keep paying after you receive the invoice called proof. Wow. Anyway, the point is don't get me fucked up and think I'm going to stick around. And again, it doesn't matter how much you've done for me, how much we've done for each other, how much history we have, how much time we've spent together, how much love we shared, all the things. It doesn't matter if you think that you can take me for granted and start talking to me and treating me any old kind of way. I can love you from a distance. And the other point I want to make is that I'm not disposable. I'm not like a friggin', I don't know. The point I'm also saying is that 1 minute you're all over me, like, we have to spend every moment together. And then the next minute when you have something else better to do, or that's got a shiny new object that's got your attention, I'm completely discarded. And I don't like that either. So to me, all of that is just a sign of you got comfortable and you think you could just treat me any old kind of way. And I don't like that shit. So if you haven't seen me in a while, or you're wondering what happened to Nicole, or why aren't we spending so much time together, whoever you are that I'm talking to, now you know.